Hello YNABers, my name is Jesse Meekum from YNAB. It stands for You Need a Budget. Yes, you do. This is another Whiteboard Wednesday, but I won't use any markers, I don't think. Last week we talked about starting your kids earlier and working with them more often on their budget. We talked about the learning that happens when they prioritize, when they realize that after they've given a little, after they've saved a little, what they have left, that it's theirs to do whatever they want, but they still have to prioritize. We talked about how the old version of the word priority didn't even have a plural, and how my kids in particular, maybe yours as well, just kind of throw all their weight behind one big goal with the rest of that money. On the video, the question was raised kind of like more of the mechanics of it, like how exactly is the money dispensed to the Meekum kids and things like that, so I thought we'd just cover that really quick. Everything in my household is a work in progress. Everything is an experiment. Everything could be thrown out as a total, absolute failure without question tomorrow. But let's make a video about it today. Why don't we? So here's what we're doing lately. We tried cash for a while. It was too hard to keep up with. The kids would lose it, I would find it, I'd stick it back in my little tin. I had to go to the bank and withdraw cash. That didn't work. I did cash originally because I didn't like them when we're at a store, them saying, hey, can I have this, can I have this, can I have this? And then I would have to spend it and they're supposed to somehow pay me back. I didn't like that aspect where they didn't have their money with them. And so I said, no, if you don't bring your cash with you, then you don't have the money. I'm not just going to be like your walking bank that you pay back later. That was that. But the cash was unwieldy. And especially when we were dividing the cash up between savings, fun, and giving, like literally dividing it up, is too much work. That was what originally caused me to look more at just the budget as the divider of the money and not having it physically be divided. This was several years ago. So they got on a budget, the three olders, and what we're doing now is actually kind of back to me being the bank, but it's working pretty well. We've been running this system for probably 6 months. I don't mind it too much. We're running the budget. They've got savings, they've got giving, they've got their spending money, and we have the three olders set up with each with their own savings account. And you can't even have a kid with a debit card until they're 13 anyway. I wanted that actually, but it's not allowed. So they just have savings accounts, and what we do is when they spend money, when they want to spend money, I buy it. And then I have a little note on my iPhone, in the Notes app, that says kids spending, and I write, you know, Porter, $2 on a donut, or whatever, really big, good donut. So, like father, like son. And then what happens is when we're doing the weekly budget, or maybe I just do it monthly because I don't want to hassle with all the transactions back and forth, I just do a withdrawal from Porter's account back to mine. For my budget, it just goes under the spending other category. I just funnel it all in there. And then for theirs, they have this note that I've recorded, but they also have been recorded in their budget, and we just reconcile the two. I'll admit, at the moment, it's a little tedious. It has been a little tedious at times. At first, I was doing a transfer every time they spent money. And then I was warned by my bank that I was going to break the savings account law where you can only have so many transfers, right? So that was where I started doing this recording of the transfers, and then, you know, once or twice a month, I just do one big transfer from each of their accounts back to mine to pay me back. They are still tracking in the budget. So it does kind of reinforce that lesson that we all have learned as we're doing YNAB, where it doesn't matter where the money physically is as long as the budget is kind of like the truth, right? It has the whole truth. And so they look at their budget and they say, I'm out of fun money. Their account, right, their cleared bank account, doesn't even show that they've transferred money back to dad's account because they haven't yet. But for all they're concerned, I mean, they're just focused on, yeah, my fun money balance or category, or whatever category we're dealing with, it's empty. And they stop spending. That's the lesson, and that's kind of going back to last week. That's the lesson where they see the pile of money in their account. They have hundreds of dollars in their accounts by now. They see that big pile of money, and for a little kid, that pile is really big, and they recognize that it's not theirs to spend. And you know, all these other mechanics and like levers and knobs that I'm turning and taking the Notes app and doing that, okay, yeah, maybe there's some slicker way to do that, and will stumble on it later. But I do know that the lesson they're learning, that they see money but they don't spend it, man, that is pure gold. I will see you guys next week.